we managed to get like three of our separate class periods involved in a debate over Cool Ranch versus Nacho Cheese Doritos.
It's the Intersectional Podcast, Episode 8. I'm your host, Fahim Kamal.
I'm your other host, Brandon Winchell.
I'm your other host, Lily Remington.
And I'm your final host, Karina Provost.
So we're all about to go into our senior year. And, senior year is a time of reminiscing of, all the memories that happened during high school, your experiences, what changed you, what were the most fun, that sort of thing. So for today's episode, we decided that we're gonna, go down memory lane and see what were our highlights for high school, and hopefully encourage you to do some of the stuff that we did. So I don't know how we're gonna start this, but if anyone wants to start with something in specific.
Well, I think maybe we should start with math class, because that's kind of something we can all relate to, because we were all in the same math class, and I feel like that's honestly how our friendship group was rooted, in a sense, and that's honestly I guess how we came up with the idea of the podcast, and we've kind of mentioned that before, but I just feel a lot went down in math class, and that was probably some of my peak moments last year.
That's for sure. We always I felt like that was a meeting place. That's where we all kind of converged.
It's I feel like because it was our one of our only IB only classes other than TOK, but TOK was in the morning and we had a ton of stuff to do and there was no free time, but math was just a time where all of the IB kids were together and we were there the whole year, and then our teacher was pretty chill about after the lessons we could do whatever we wanted to.
Although
not necessarily whatever,
we
but
were specifically encouraged to complete our homework in those minutes, but
yeah, we did. It's fine. It's fine.
It was a weaving in and out of doing one homework problem or half of a problem and then having a random conversation about how you take a shower in the morning.
Yeah, no, it's I think third period, because that's when we had math, was a time when I was just really awake, and that was my peak energy of the day, and I just started thinking about a bunch of random stuff at that time. And I always used to talk to Fahim about it, and then soon it would become a whole class discussion, and I would do my homework, but a lot of the times I feel like we were just talking about random stuff, and our teacher didn't really care that much, so it was
I really
fun
appreciated that. The open space we got in that class. We got a lot of freedom to do what we wanted, and that was really cool, especially when there were some classes where that wasn't true.
I thought it was that there were days where I'd be I did not understand the physics FRQ. Please help me.
Yeah, we could work on stuff that wasn't particularly part of that class, and she was okay with it, and obviously we did our stuff for that class and we eventually got it done, and it wasn't necessarily in that class period, but she just understood we're students, we have other classes, and we want to just talk about stuff we're teenagers, just let us have some free space, and it was really cool.
I mean, she herself participated in the conversation sometimes.
Yeah,
and at least for Brandon, Karina, and I, that was and for a bunch of other kids in the class, that was the period right before lunch. So by the end of the lesson, when we had the 10 minutes left, we were honestly, she probably just understood we were itching to go outside and socialize and converse with other people. So I don't know, I thought it was really nice, and it was just always a fun time.
Yeah.
So
snapshots from math class for me is just when we had the debate over the chips.
Oh my god!
I remember that.
Who wants to just someone want to give an overview?
Started a war, literally. What Lily? You started it, right?
The chips?
I'm pretty sure
really
Lily
remember.
asked first.
The Ruffles, the wavy Lay's
I think
one?
it was Ethan and Brandon.
Oh yeah, I think because I think what happened was I took out a bag of wavy Lay's. I think I had wavy Lay's, and normally I wouldn't eat. I would eat Ruffles, but I think we had a variety pack, and I brought wavy Lay's that day.
And then I think Ethan was yo, and then he brought out his chips or something.
Yeah.
It was something like that, and then we were just which one's better though?
Yeah, we had a whole class full participation. I think we might have had a sub that day, but the sub was cool with us doing it. She was young, so she didn't really mind. And obviously she was like, "Get your work done," and we were like, "Yeah, we will." But we just
Yeah,
sort of
sure.
like we just sort of had like a taste test on like what we thought was the better chip, even though like Ruffles came first and everything. We just thought it was like cool because they were like very similar. I think we ended up coming to the conclusion that Wavy Lays were saltier, and thus a lot of us thought they were better. But I'm not
I
exactly.
thought the Ruffles were better.
Yeah. Yeah, not
Well-
like everyone thought that, but I think like as a whole group, that was the conclusion we came to, that the Wavy Lays were better, which made me sad because they kind of just stole Ruffles swag. But
On gun.
I mean,
Well, okay, so when you guys
it
mentioned
was
the whole
interesting.
this was actually one of the things that I had like thought about before we started recording. When you brought up the whole chip thing, I was thinking about the time that we managed to get like 3 of our separate class periods involved in a debate over Cool Ranch versus Nacho Cheese Doritos.
Oh, that was what you were
That
talking
is
about.
what I was thinking of. Because
Oh.
that not only started in math class, but got dragged into AP Lang and AP Physics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
essentially,
So
how that started, I personally believe that nacho cheese Doritos are better than Cool Ranch, and at lunch every day, Brandon, at least in the beginning of the year, I swear it was like every day you would have Cool Ranch Doritos, and I hate Cool Ranch Doritos. And so
Mhm.
I just started a debate in our math class, and then I asked it to like all of my friends, and in our AP Lang class, and in our A-Push class, and in AP
Yeah.
Psych, and honestly all my classes and all my extracurriculars. And I think, and even on my Instagram, and I think Cool Ranch Doritos ended up being what most people preferred, and I
I
just
think
strongly
deservingly.
disagree.
Yeah, deservingly.
I
No.
think I
Obviously.
strongly agree. I'm a Cool
No.
Ranch Doritos person.
Dude, they're literally
I-
like, it's kind of like what you're in the mood for, though.
I
Nacho-
I like both of them.
Yeah,
Nacho
but
cheese Doritos aren't bad. I mean, I think they're good from time to time, but like, I think if I was given a choice, I think I'd pick Cool Ranch Doritos because they're
I
good.
would never. I do not like Cool Ranch Doritos
What
at all,
about
and
them?
I honestly completely forgot about this debate that we had. Oh, and I even asked our principal,
Did you
and
Oh,
he
yeah.
also
Did you
He
Yeah.
said Cool
really?
Ranch, didn't he?
He said Cool Ranch.
Yup.
but like when I think about Doritos, like I don't know, this is kind of off topic, but like, what do you eat Doritos with? Because I feel like when I eat Doritos, I
Nothing?
just eat Doritos.
Yeah,
Like,
I
The
just
point
eat
of this is
Doritos.
to just chat.
Well, they're flavored.
Nothing is off topic here. But
Yeah, no, I just have Doritos alone.
yeah, Doritos. I think Doritos are an independent chip.
no, because like
could
some
dip
chips you
them,
eat with
but-
other stuff. You know what I mean? Like you eat with like a sandwich or something, like a chip, like
Well,
some
Well, I
jalapeno chips go hard with some sandwiches. I ain't
Well,
gonna
I
cap.
think
I'll-
that like
I'll-
Doritos are like a lunch chip. Like you eat Doritos with your lunch.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'll eat Doritos whenever. I mean, they're good with the sandwich. I don't think any chip is bad with the sandwich, particularly.
I
But,
mean,
like,
I don't know. Do you like Fritos? Because Fritos are kind of horrible.
Yeah.
I don't think they're horrible. I think you're overstating
They're
their
garbanzo beans, bro. They're
I don't.
horrible.
I
They're
get
trash.
sick of them. I don't think they're horrible. Like, there's some chips that I just like really don't like, but Fritos aren't one of them. Like, I'll get sick of them really easily, but I don't hate them.
I'm
Like
not
what?
a Fritos fan either.
Like what? Well, I don't really
don't like
know. I was
Fritos.
thinking of Sun Chips, but I think I've grown to like them
Oh,
more.
I
love
like
Sun
Sun
Chips.
Chips.
I hated
Classic
the aftertaste of Sun
original
Chips.
Sun Chips. So good.
I
I
used to hate
think
the aftertaste too much.
The two kinds of valid Sun Chips are the original like classic Sun Chips, and then the kind of cheesy ones,
The cheddar ones, yeah.
cheddar ones. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think those are the two valid Sun Chips.
I don't know why, but I just used to hate those. I did not like them.
I think
at
they're
all.
in custom taste. Cause Sun chips aren't like normal chips. They're kind of weird. They got a little twinge.
Yeah, those are definitely one of them.
I think I really like them because my mom was kind of like a health nut, so she was like, instead of getting these like flaming hot Cheetos, or instead of getting these nacho cheese Doritos, let's get these Sun Chips. And I'm like, Mom, they're not any bit healthier, but it's fine. But okay, that kind of like reminded me. I wanted to ask you guys a question because I don't like Cool Ranch Doritos, but I think part of that is just because growing up as a child, I never really had Cool Ranch Doritos. I mean, I never really had Doritos, but when I did, it was always nacho cheese. So, like, did you guys just grow up eating Cool Ranch Doritos, and is it just an acquired taste that I don't have?
Maybe.
In my case, no, because I didn't grow up eating any kind of chips that weren't kettle cooked salt and vinegar chips because I was allergic to corn and corn syrup and cornstarch and high fructose corn syrup and citric acid and
Oh my
cinnamon
gosh.
and
A laundry
chocolate.
list of other things.
Yeah, and a laundry
Wait.
list of other things. Like, I could not eat anything unless it was 100% organic,
Mm-hmm.
or homegrown, or basically from Whole Foods, which was expensive.
Wait, so did you get over that? That's
Yeah,
why you can...
wait.
Yeah, it is possible to outgrow your allergies.
Huh.
There was
didn't know
only,
that.
I believe that there was only, I can't even remember what they were, but I don't remember if any of my allergies were an anaphylactic level, but I would break out in hives and my lips would get all tingly and stuff.
Not fun.
Definitely not fun. But so I never grew up on any kind of chips. So I remember when I like tried the chips for the first time, like Doritos, like Cool Ranch or nacho cheese or whatever. So I don't think whether or not I grew up on it, because I definitely didn't, influenced the fact that I like them or not.
Got you.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I agree because I don't remember. I don't really remember what chips I used to eat when I was younger. I think I ate a lot of Cheetos. But I don't think like it's an acquired taste to the point where like if you don't eat them when you're younger, like you won't like them.
Well, that's not necessarily what I mean when I say
You said to
acquired
eat
taste.
them more. Yeah, it's not the.
Well, no, I'm not
stage.
saying like, but like I don't think it's like one of those foods that like you
Got
need
you.
to like. I guess there's other foods that I feel taste like Cool Ranch Doritos to the point where like it won't be something so like vastly different that you have to get in that you have to acquire. But
Cheetos were the ones that I had to acquire. I didn't like Cheetos
Fritos?
originally. No, Cheetos.
Really? You didn't like
Yeah.
Cheetos?
Yeah, I had to eat them a lot, and now I kind of like them.
I have to
That's
agree with that, actually, because I also wasn't really a
Really?
Cheetos fan.
Cheetos was the only chip that my mom let us have besides Sun Chips. I freaking love Cheetos.
I mean, Cheetos aren't like the epitome of health. Like I don't know about that one.
No, it's not. It's not because of health. Like when she wanted to treat herself, when she wanted to treat us. Yeah.
and then you guys got to eat some too.
This is
Mhm.
kind of a funny story. So I like puffy Cheetos. I like the
Ew.
puffy ones.
The fat ones, like the really huge ones. Like the
Cheeto Puffs.
I
Yeah,
like
okay.
Cheeto Puffs. But I'm not the only one in my household who likes them, because my dog and both of my cats, if you break out a bag of puffy Cheetos and you stand there, like if I just stand next to the pantry, I will have 3 animals sitting around me in a circle in a minute.
like cat like owner, I guess. I don't know. That's kind of weird. Do they like? Are they allowed to eat that? Like, do you?
I don't think so. So I don't usually give them any. But my cats weren't originally my cats. They were my grandparents before they passed away. And we took them in afterwards. And I think that because my grandfather really, really, really liked puffy Cheetos, I think the cats got some pretty often, even though I don't think they were supposed to.
I see.
It is also why if you pick up one of my cats, she will try and either stick her face or paw in a drink if it is reachable.
Interesting.
That is very interesting.
Do y'all have anything else on this, or?
Well, we could like I don't know, like math class, like there was just like people
There's
would
more,
start
yeah, I
singing
wanna-
out of nowhere, but we don't need to like keep talking about math. There's like a bunch of other things we could talk about, and I don't want to get too stuck on this topic. But there was a lot that went down in math class, and it was just a really chill class.
Well, I also wanted to talk about the food. We got tons of food in that class for like no reason.
Oh yeah,
like-
and
I
it
used
kind
to
of
eat Clif
slapped,
Bars
bro, when she
every
made us
day.
gumbo.
Yes, the gumbo was amazing.
Also, her
Yes, and-
cheesecake was excellent.
Her
Exactly. yes.
cheesecakes
We
were
just got a
so
lot of
good, and
food.
she couldn't even eat the cheesecake, but yet it tasted so good, and I don't understand how.
Yeah, I remember every day, like this wasn't like food that she brought, but every day I would eat
You and
a
your
Cliff
Clif
Bar in that
Bar.
class. Like, yeah, and sometimes Fahim would bring them, and then we'd eat them at the same time. And then I remember I would get so scared I was being too loud with the wrapper, and people would look over at me. And it's a small class too, so it wasn't like there wasn't a lot of people. And like if someone was doing something like that, then everyone like would probably turn to them. But it was just like it wasn't a big deal, obviously, because I did it every day and didn't get in trouble. But it was just like. It was just an everyday thing. Like, it was a tradition in that class because I'd always be so hungry. And now with online school, they're moving lunch to later, but I don't think that's going to be a big deal for me just because, like, I'm used to eating late now.
Mm-hmm. I think food in that class was, like, table particular. Mm-hmm. Like, one thing that I did for pretty much the entirety of the school year is that I always had, like, extra food. From because I brought lunch from home and I always brought extra food. I literally always brought extra food, and it wasn't necessarily for me, but I know that like some kids who don't bring or buy lunch and just go through the day without eating lunch and get hungry and stuff, and I'm just like, no, can't have that. So a friend of ours who sat across from me in math, like every now and again would be like hungry, and I would just like slide Tracy crackers. Or something like that, or
oh yeah,
I'd bring like bags of popcorn and stuff, and then just like, pass them around our math table.
That one popcorn you brought with like that lime or whatever. I don't know what it was, but it was
great. I don't remember what it was either. I don't think I've had it since then, but it was. I know the brand was called Skinny Pop, and it's like, it was just this like salt and lime popcorn. It was really good. Food was a big part of that class.
I was gonna say, other than math class, I guess one of my fond shared moments that we all have, and it's probably not necessarily fond for all of you, was doing this shower curtain in WAP.
That was a whole experience. Like
I had such a fun time.
I wouldn't say I had a fun time. It was definitely a time where I bonded with people, and like we could ask our teachers to like get us out of class so we could go work on it because everyone in our school knows about the shower curtain. And I had a little
explain it. Someone explain
what the I could explain it. So for world history, I don't know how it works now because obviously the curriculum changed, but we started at 10,000 BCE and went all the way until like modern era. So we would have the book is like separated into 6 eras. So we would get outlines done for every single era on like the things that happen, like the important places and stuff like that. And then separate the shower curtain into 6 different sections and write the outlines on that and do like a whole complete thing in like colors and like different colors and then have like pictures drawn. It's this whole huge project that we have to do. And it's like very dreaded by people who are like coming in, but I don't think it was as bad as like anticipated.
It was not as bad as anticipated.
Not at all. But
a lot of things in high school aren't as bad as they're anticipated.
Yeah.
I feel bad and also don't for the kids who didn't do like the entire second semester of outlines because those were so helpful on the shower curtain.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people didn't understand that our WAC teacher was also teaching TOK and AP Human Geo and also working on her master's degree. This woman is amazing, but it did and it's completely understandable that it took her a while to grade things because she was so busy. And because the grades for our chapter outlines had gotten delayed and hadn't been put in the grade book for a while, people just stopped doing them, and I'm like, there's still an assignment. It's not like they disappeared.
I'll still defend that. I think that people got smarter after that assignment.
Fahim, did you not do them?
No, I did.
Okay.
I'm not if it's for a grade, I'm doing it. I'm sorry, but if I probably procrastinated on them, but I did.
Oh them. Yeah, no, I did them all Sunday night, literally 4 hours before they were due.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say, oh sorry.
Or go ahead.
I just thought people were smarter after that. After the shower curtain, people just started looking different to me. It was weird. It was a foundational moment of that year for me. People just started saying stuff that were just more intelligent. I don't know what the shower curtain did to them.
Or what it did to you.
Maybe the shower curtain.
Your whole outlook was different. Yeah. Maybe it just enlightened you seeing all these people do all this stuff, and they didn't become any smarter. But to you, they just started looking smarter.
It was just like the first collective like struggle.
Yeah, like a
Out of,
very
like-
big one. Like there was
Yeah.
other stuff
I
freshman
worked
year.
so hard on the shower curtain project.
I
I
don't
think
know.
it was like a defining moment of my sophomore year because it was the first time that I think I put all of my effort into every section except for the drawings because I didn't have the energy to draw anymore after everything else that had been put in to that shower curtain. And it was the first time that she hadn't corrected or critiqued one of my change continuity statements. It was the first time that I'd actually done them like completely to her satisfaction, and I was so happy.
I just remember on every single one of my outlines, I got the freaking be more specific stamp. But honestly, like, it's not necessarily that I enjoyed doing the assignment, but it was just like a fun time when we were doing it. Like, I mean, would I've rather not written these outlines like 5 times and then had to write them on a shower curtain? Yeah, probably not. Probably not my first choice, but I don't know. It's just like really fun, and we like bonded with everyone. And like, I don't know. I still have mine. It's not hanging up anymore, but I still have mine. And like, I remember I was like, I'm not gonna say like I was the one who showed everyone, but like, remember how I was like, oh, if you use hand sanitizer on the Sharpie, it'll erase. And then everyone started doing that. And so I remember being like, asking our teacher for hand sanitizer, and she gave me like the gingham scented Bath and Body Works hand sanitizer. And then I bought some, and I put some on today actually, and I was like sent back to the shower curtain days. It's just something so deeply ingrained in my memories. I don't know, but it was a fun time.
The shower curtain was good. I still have all like 36 colored Sharpies that I have not
Same.
used for anything
Damn.
since, but I
a
still
lot.
have them.
I
And
used
I
5
remember-
Sharpies.
I still have the holes in my wall from when I hung it up to like read it.
You know?
Mhm.
Holes, like nail holes?
There was a
Pinholes?
part of the shower
I don't know
curtain.
what they're called.
There was a part of the shower curtain that I explicitly did not do, and that was hang it up. I had nowhere to hang it up. So up until the AP test, it literally just laid like on my floor, and I just stared at it every day. But like it was fully open, so I could still read it. But
I don't know. I just remember it being really painful just to be on the floor with like for like maybe an hour
Yeah.
after school and have to write, and you don't have to write so carefully. It's like,
But I would say it was like the moment when I really got to like know the kids in my WAP class and like know the kids in the other WAP class, because like yeah, I had class with them all year, but I feel like I never really spoke to anyone in that class unless they were like the kids immediately around me. Or it was
yeah,
like
that's like
the
the
moment
dynamic
when
of
I
history classes. Like,
yeah,
you don't really talk to people that much.
It's just a lot of
especially
lecturing.
because there was just so much to get like covered, so we didn't really have the opportunity to.
I just remember that one day when she stayed at the school because we weren't supposed to bring them home, but she stayed at the school really late, and there was like not like too many people, but there was like a good amount of people like still there working on them, and I just remember like bonding with the teacher, and I remember our friend Jaden just like saying a bunch of funny stuff. Like there was like this camel he drew or something. It was really funny.
Oh yeah.
I was
And me teaching Jaden German.
oh yeah. What were you saying again? I forgot.
He wanted to say, "Can I have some milk?"
Oh yeah. And he was trying so hard. And then I remember I think at one point he got it and he was so happy. But it was just like that was just a fun time, and I bonded with a lot of people that I normally didn't talk to as much as I could have.
I have a singular picture of my uncompleted shower curtain. That's it.
Wow. I'm looking at this right now. So much better than mine. Everyone like I was so surprised
Oh my
that I
gosh,
like
mine is so extra.
mine was the like bare minimum. Like, and I'm sure the content on it was good because I got a pretty good grade on it. But if you guys don't know, I have terrible handwriting. So like my shower curtain was so all over the place, and everyone like acknowledged it, even our teacher, and it was just it was funny. But
yeah, Brandon's handwriting brings back memories for two reasons though. One is that because I sat in 10th grade for pre-AP English, I sat at the front of our row, and you sat at the back of it. So I always had to peer edit your rough draft essays. I mean, I could usually read it. Like that was
yeah.
It's not the best handwriting I've ever seen, but I think it was legible. I think I could read it.
Like you didn't want to read it, but you could read it.
Not a false statement, but I do not think our AP teacher needed to go as far as to call you out in front of the whole class.
Yeah, a couple times. It was all in good fun, but it was just funny. I got called out a couple times that year for having bad handwriting, but it was all in good moral standing. So no hard feelings. I don't know what the word terminology is.
Anywho, I guess Fahim and Karina, you guys can talk about your whatever you wanted to talk about.
Fahim and I can talk about La Costa.
I don't know. Let's talk about like debate trips in general, because I feel like debate trips in general are really fun.
Yeah, debate trips in general are literally the best.
It's like you get a lot of freedom that you don't enjoy in like normal life, I guess. You get to like remember when we went to this was Long Beach maybe, and we went to that Old Navy after watching Kareem and Sherry, I think at the time. Yeah, Kareem and Sherry debate. Do you remember this?
Wait, what?
We went to this Old Navy. It was you, me, and Strad.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And it's just like so much things you can do on these trips. Like there was like an Old Navy that was probably like, I don't know. What do you say, like half a mile away?
Yeah, barely even.
Or something like that. It wasn't that far, but it was there, right? And we just walked to this Old Navy out of nowhere and got some balls.
Because we went to go get lunch, I think.
Yeah. No, legit. I have a ball from Old Navy that I bought.
Like bouncy balls.
Well,
like a bouncy ball. Yeah.
That's
the reason I didn't remember at first, and I was like, well, because when we were on the campus, we couldn't leave the campus, and I forgot that it was in the last day because Sherry and Kareem had made it to Outrounds, which was literally incredible to watch. Like, Policy is just amazing to watch. But at one of the like host hotels for the tournament, was right next to like a little shopping district, like a shopping business district. And so we just kind of like walked there.
Just us three. And then I think we had In-N-Out.
We went to In-N-Out, yeah.
And it was just like, it was just one of those experiences. It's like, we were just doing what we wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, no.
Mm-hmm. And like, it was funny because we had already gone and done that, and like, we didn't know that the second after they finished that our coach and them were gonna go across the street to get lunch as well. So we were like, just kind of sitting there chilling.
And we went to Habit with them, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where we went.
Good.
Yeah, but
honestly, I think that I really, really, really liked that. I mean, La Costa was really fun when we had, and so was ASU when we had the whole team with us.
There's different dynamics for sure, I think. They were fun for two different reasons, in my head.
And I think that, I really, really, really liked, when it was just the 5 or 6 of us that went to Long Beach, because, like, that was just so much fun, you know? We rented a car, and we, like, hung out like in the hotel and stuff, and I guess it was just like a lot more personal.
Yeah, I would have to agree. The distinction I'm making is like when it's the whole team together, like you just do a lot more stuff together. You just get to know everybody on the team better, which was really fun. And like at La Costa especially, when you see like your team doing well, it's really hype and it's really fun to watch.
Oh, it's so hype because at La Costa, the award ceremony is similar to the ones we have at home, rather than ASU or Long Beach.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that this year we wouldn't get that experience. I was kind of
Yeah.
disappointed in that.
Year in debate.
Yeah.
I honestly, that was one of probably my favorite memories of La Costa, though, was awards, because
so many names from our school were on that stage. It was like, oh my gosh.
Right? It's like we were one of 3 or 4 Vegas teams there, and it was just GV kid after GV kid after GV kid. And you know that your team is literally something else when you can go to a whole nother state, compete with schools you've never competed against that season, and still take home a first and second place in an event category.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think we got in so much trouble. Our coach was so mad at us for how loud we were when duo took first and second.
What year was this? Was this last year?
This was
Sophomore
sophomore year.
Sophomore year. Nice. Yeah.
I did not go to La Costa junior year. I did not have time.
Aw.
I don't even remember
Junior
La
year's
Costa
so
junior
busy.
year.
Look, did you go?
Probably. I feel like I went to a lot of the tournaments junior year. I don't remember. It wasn't memorable. What I was gonna say is like, debate trips are just something else. Like if you have the ability, like in the future years, if you're listening to this, like, I don't know, 2 years later, I would definitely recommend going on debate trips. They just take you to places you've never been, to schools you've never been, and like you get a nicer appreciation for like how different, school circumstances are, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
Little bit of an addendum to that. Follow the rules if you go on school trips or debate trips. Like, they give you that freedom because they trust you. Like, we're allowed to leave the hotel before curfew and go walk to food places, and we're allowed to go to shopping centers and stuff because they trust us. Don't break that trust, because A, they will send you home, and B, it takes away those privileges for like upcoming years. Because I remember hearing horror stories about stuff that happened at like nationals before I joined the team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Fahim knows what I'm talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about. Anyway,
Yeah.
remember
so
we went
just
to
follow
that
the
mall
rules.
too? We went to that mall at that one tournament. I forgot what it was called.
Which tournament did we go to a mall?
I forgot the name of the tournament. It's fine. I think it's ASU.
It was probably ASU.
This is just like a personal thing, but like when you go to these tournaments, like when we went, this wasn't the whole team. This was just me and Kareem, who was a debate partner of mine. We went to Alta for a tournament. It's a school in Utah, right? And after the tournament, like this isn't even like like debating is fun. Like that's one aspect of the fun you have. But we went to downtown Salt Lake City, I think, and it was just like the ambiance there. This was like during like it was really cold there. It was like winter vibes. So like there were like lights strung around, and like we had some hot chocolate, and it was just such a good experience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you guys want to move on to like something else?
Well, me and Lily could talk about Science Olympiad. I mean, I feel like it was like a very similar experience to like debate, other than like what you're actually like doing there. But I feel like just like there's that freedom, and like at points you could just do whatever, and obviously like the competing is really fun. But it's just like you get a bond and meet, like, not necessarily meet new people, but like create new relationships with these people that like sometimes you don't talk to that much, especially because they're not even like in your grade or not in your classes. But just like Science Olympiad trips, we went to California 2 years in a row. It was kind of sad we didn't go last year, but there was a lot going on, and we couldn't probably there was no way for us to like schedule us going. But it was a lot of fun. I don't know if you have any specific memories, Lily, but I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think they're pretty similar to debate tournaments, but less frequent. We only went on like one trip each year. And like
Yeah.
Brendan said, we couldn't do it last year because it conflicted with our Science Bowl tournament and whatever. But I mean, we did still go to the Invitational that was held in Las Vegas. So, I mean, that was still fun. It was just like, I have such fun memories because prior to like going on these trips, it's like I didn't really know anybody. Like even the people who were in events with me, I didn't even really talk to that much.
Yeah.
And I only really talked to, like, in my freshman year, I only really talked to you, Brandon, and David. because you were like the only people I know, but then after going on these trips, I became so much closer with everyone else. And I think my most fond memories of the Science Olympiad trips definitely came from the one that we went on sophomore year. Like, I don't know, there's just something about when we were on the plane ride going to LA and then on the drive down to Hacienda Heights and being in the car with you and Madeline and David and Julian and just like playing those musics and having Miss Siegel's mom play Gold Digger by Kanye West. And just like, fun. I don't know, it was a vibe. And like walking out of our hotel with our supervisor to go to the Daiso and the 168 market just because why not? And even though, unlike the speech and debate team, we never win anything out of state, it's still just like, it doesn't really matter to me because it's all about like having fun with your friends and like getting to know new people. And I don't know, I always just had such a fun time. 10 out of 10 would recommend. And I guess on a similar note, the only other thing that I could say was that I kind of have similar feelings about the Science Bowl competition. I don't know, there was something
even
about
though we don't really go out of state.
Yeah, there's just something about arriving to the PBS studios when it's like 7 in the morning and then you're sitting at a table waiting for Mr. Panic to show up and you're reading this book last minute. I don't know. It's just like super fun.
And I remember we went to get boba after, and our friend Julian wanted to get boba, or like a whole cup of just like the boba balls, like the tapioca. And for some reason, I agreed to contribute to buying that, and we had this huge cup of them. And I think I ended up I don't know if he took them home or I took them home, but I just didn't need them. But it was just really funny because I had this huge cup. And like everyone, like all of our other like teammates were like looking at us like, why would you do that? But it was just like,
what is the point?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't super expensive, and it was like, obviously probably not the most enjoyable thing. Like I think we both got drinks before. Like I got a drink. I'm pretty sure he got a drink too. But like we just got that just because like why not? And it was just like there's just like all these like shenanigans that go on like at all the time at these school trips, like, and it's not even necessarily like breaking the rules shenanigans. It's just like funny stuff that happens, and it just like creates these memories with the people in the clubs that you end up being like really good friends with.
Yeah, like I guess in general, what we kind of want to say about this is like there's this misconception that people who are in AP, IB, higher level classes, higher level programs or whatever have no time to have a social life or do anything with their life. But honestly, like we do, especially if you like don't procrastinate too hard and you get your work done, like there's always time to do extracurriculars and to spend time with your friends. And like,
and I think
go ahead.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like even with like more like activities I guess that you guys don't know about, like when I went to Chicago with like my orchestra, like that was super fun. And like I don't know, I wouldn't trade these school trip things for the world. They're like so much fun.
I really have to agree with that because a lot of people just assume and I think it's more so like outside individuals, like people who don't do the things, to assume that like we have literally no time. Like, hey, we have enough time to start a podcast. But also I think it's because we are so like inclusively involved in our extracurriculars that the people in our extracurriculars and the people that we spend all of our time with just become our family and our friends. So like I literally love the speech and debate team with all of my heart and soul. They are literally amazing, and I do like to spend time outside of class and tournaments like with them, and I want to do as much as I can for them. And so it's like a lot of people just assume that we don't have a social life when in actuality it kind of is our social life.
Yeah. And even sometimes like these more school related, like going on these school trips or going to these competition type things, like, you know, some people might look at that and be like, yeah, they don't have time to hang out with their friends because they have to go to this competition. But like you were saying, Karina, these people that we're involved with become our friends and become our family, and they're just so much fun that, you know, you make it kind of like a hangout. Like it's not just the stress of having a competition, or even like that time when Fahim and Brandon, when we all went to the library to like work on our IAs, like even though we were doing kind of something school related, like I wouldn't necessarily consider it like that way. We were all still having like fun and having a good time and stuff.
No, that was a lot of fun, and it was like obviously like our purpose was to go get stuff done, and we did get stuff done. But like there was a lot of like bantering and just like we had to find like we went to like the study rooms and we were like we actually started we started planning for the podcast like one of the very first times in like the room with the whiteboard, and we were just like writing stuff down, and it was just like I just remember it very very vividly.
It was also really cool because it was like one of those one times when it was kind of rainy in Vegas.
Yeah.
So like all the factors were coming together. The perfect vibe storm was just approaching on us.
Oh yeah, I know. I remember what I was doing while you guys were there that weekend. I almost forgot about this. Yeah, no, that was right before I got sick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like right before like everything was shut down and stuff.
Yeah, which means that must have been at like the end of February.
Yeah. That sounds right. Which it makes me sad to think about like all these like experiences and the fact that like our senior year we're probably not going to be able to like experience stuff like that. But that doesn't mean
we can
can't
still
like
host our own thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, should we talk about the bump?
We can talk about the bump.
Karina, I don't think you ever went on the bump.
That's the next.
We have to take
goal.
Karina to the bump.
We have to go together. Yeah.
Okay. I'm so confused.
Should I talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay, so was the first time intentional? Like
no, the first time was trying to find a view.
Okay, so I was with Lily and Fahim, and we were driving around. I forget when this was. It was after school one day. And we were just like driving around.
It was legit like March 14th. We had gone to get Shamrock Shakes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was that day. I wasn't completely sure.
Wasn't that the last day of school?
The last day.
It was the last day we had in-person school that for junior year. And we were driving around like we didn't know what was going to happen with school or anything, so we were just like having fun, and we were trying to find this view up in like near where I live. So I was like, "Oh, I could probably find it." I was like driving.
It's like a view of the Las Vegas like skyline.
Yeah, you could see like most of the strip from there, so it's like a very like pretty place, and we wanted to like see if we could find that, but we ended up like not being able to find it. But when we were driving this one like piece of the road, it was like probably a 4 hour like area, so like it's a pretty extreme like dip. So basically when you drive past it, there's like this little dip you go into, and then you're like, oh, that was kind of weird, and then it like the road kind of curves back up, and it's like it's obviously not good for a car, and I wouldn't recommend going over and over.
It's really sudden.
But it's a really sudden, just like rocking motion, and it's kind of like it reminds me of like a roller coaster or like an amusement park ride. And it was just like we went on that, and we were so shook. And then I was like, oh my god! And then you two, I just remember this. You were like, we're going back. So you made me like take 3 left turns and go back. Yeah. So we went on that again, and then there was another time we went on it because one of our teachers was retiring, so he was having this retirement thing, and then we were in the car, and then there was a couple other people, more of our friends, and I was like, should we go to the bump, because like we didn't really have anything to do because this was post corona, so that everything was like really shut down. So I was like, that's something we could do without having to like get out of our car, or without having to even get out of the car or like go do something. So we decided we'd go back, and that time I drove a little faster, and that one was a little scary because I looked back.
My head hit the ceiling of your car.
Yeah. And it was I was like, we probably shouldn't do that again. But I swear, everyone in that car looked so disappointed and thought I was so dumb. Like, thought us three were so dumb when we were talking about it. because the dip happened. And then everyone was like, that was nothing. And then it rocked up. And it was the most extreme like time we've been on. And it was really funny because everyone was so like, whoa, what just happened after?
I thought we were so
Yeah.
lame, bro. They're like, what is
Yeah.
this?
We
It's like,
have
nah,
to
we're not capping.
We have to take
Oh,
you,
that's
Karina.
funny.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yes, I'm so down. Which totally kind of reminds me, I have a car now.
Oh, really?
You have a car? Can you drive?
Yeah, I got a car a couple days ago.
Wow.
Funnily enough,
What?
don't have my license yet. I have a car.
That's
Do you-
crazy.
have you had
Okay,
your permit
cool.
for a while?
Yeah, my permit expires next month.
Oh, so
actually.
you probably
Oh my
have,
god,
like,
we're in the same
schedule.
You
position.
probably have like your hours, don't you? Or do you not?
I've got a lot of them.
Yeah.
I don't have. I have to get my night hours, man.
Yeah, that's what took me forever. The DMVs right now are so packed though.
They're so packed. So, which is what I'm thinking is I'm probably gonna have to get my permit renewed because I think I'm gonna have, because I know that Sundays they do walk-ins for that. So I think like after September 14th, I'm just gonna have to walk in on a Sunday, get my permit renewed, and then make an appointment for my license because there's no way they have an appointment available before September 14th.
Oh, yeah.
So, I know for a fact that the Henderson DMV is backed up all the way until December, but the one in Sahara, in Summerlin is only booked until the end of September. So I think I can get like,
For-
a regular
for
October
perspective,
appointment to get my license.
We're not. I don't know when we'll release this exactly, but it's August 12th when we're recording that. So December is a while away. Is all I want to say because this might not come out until probably like later, maybe a month from now. I don't know.
Wait, it's the 12th already?
Yeah, it's the 12th
Yeah.
of August.
Yes.
Today.
I mean, I
This will
guess
come
we,
out in
All right, I can
September,
start.
like the
I can
second
start
week.
counting down now. I turned 17 in exactly a month.
Nice. And then we'll all be 17 squad.
19,
dancing
38.
queen.
Hey,
I don't know, like, because I just want to add this, like, so everyone like fears that like you won't have a social life, and like even with like all these like clubs and stuff, like you guys, like people in the clubs I'm in are like, I feel like my like some of my best friends in my family, but that doesn't even mean I don't have time to hang out with people that aren't in the clubs. Like I hang out with my other friends like not as much as I probably did in like middle school, but that's not even just because of the clubs. That's just because of like our schedules and like what they're doing, and just like there's a lot going on in high school, and I have like a lot more work, or I've had a lot more work because it's like summer right now. But it's just like, especially with this corona, I haven't been able to, but it's not like you can't hang out with the people like that have been your friends that don't want to do the same clubs as you. Like I definitely am still really good friends with a lot of them.
Like 10th grade, I was seriously like every other weekend hanging out with like not even just my friends that are also in the clubs that I'm in, but just like my other friends. And
Yeah.
so I don't know, there's just this misconception, I think.
At the beginning of sophomore year, because I had just changed schools, I didn't really, like, outside of speech and debate, I didn't really have a social life because I had a really hard time making friends back then. Like, I was a lot shyer and less assertive than I am now. But I think after meeting a couple of people and finding, like, a place that I could actually settle into, it became a lot easier.
No.
And I still don't really have that many in-person friends, I guess.
Yeah.
But they're there somewhere.
It's just really hard right now, I would say, with all the lockdown stuff. It's hard to like keep in touch with people, just like see them. Like I haven't really gone out much in the past like 3 months. Not even 3 months, more than that. It's just like it sucks.
Yeah, I just straight up haven't.
Yeah. But
I haven't been anywhere.
we're praying for a COVID cure.
yeah, but thank the Lord for the internet. Obviously we had the tech video a long while ago, and I might have expressed myself as tech makes us more alone, but we wouldn't be able to do this podcast without the internet.
Yeah.
So there's definitely good things about it.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, our original plan for the podcast was to meet up and record in person every
Not
time.
what we do.
Not at all what we do.
But maybe.
Shout out to
Maybe it
Perhaps
will
one
be.
day.
Hopefully
day.
one day we get a
One
recording
day
studio.
we want to. One day we want to make it. Yeah, one day we want to make it so that we can meet up and we can record an episode or two or
Maybe
a couple
even
episodes in person.
with video.
That'd be really
Yeah.
cool.
For our YouTube
Yeah.
listeners.
We rent a truck and we just do it in the back of a truck.
An RV or like a semi.
Yeah. Like a moving truck.
We
Like
in
a
the
U-Haul.
back of the U-Haul.
Yeah, the U-Haul podcast.
Oh my god.
Coming
Don't mind
soon.
the driving. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. But
Uh,
yeah, there's like, I don't know if there's a ton else you guys want to talk about. I have a couple more things I wanted to mention, but I don't know if you guys have anything like big you wanted to say.
I mean,
you can go
in terms of, well, like, the one thing that we never talked about that I think was like the initial point of this episode was talking about like the whole morning routine thing in the math.
I have a very particular morning routine, or I did when we used to go to school, and in math we used to like always talk about it. Everyone thought it was so weird. I don't.
It is weird. It's not like everyone.
No,
Yeah.
It's not like it was not weird.
Okay,
It
you
is
guys are
weird.
saying objectively it's weird.
It's
Yes.
not. It is not typical. I'm not gonna call it weird. I'm just saying it's not typical.
It's different.
Abnormal.
It's different.
Should I give them
Yeah,
a
go
list,
ahead.
a rundown?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I used to do, I don't know exactly. I kind of forget, but I'm pretty sure what I used to do. Wake up at 5:30 around that time. Take a shower and brush my. No, I didn't brush my teeth until after I ate. And now I do it before. But I would take a shower and then blow dry my hair. And then I would go downstairs, eat, pack my lunch, make sure that's all good to go. And then if I didn't have anything else I needed to finish for school, because sometimes I was a bad student and had to finish stuff in the morning, I would take a nap before I had to leave for school, which sounds very weird. I don't know why I didn't sleep until like 6, because I probably could have slept until 6, but I would go downstairs, take a 30-minute nap on the couch. No one was like downstairs because my dad had left for work by then, and my brother was in college, but I would take a slight 30-minute nap before I would get ready to go leave for school, and then I would wake up, and before I left I would go back upstairs to the bathroom and make sure like my hair is all like good, because it would get really weird after I woke up, and then I would leave for school. I don't know if there was something else specific that I forgot to
The
mention.
rinse. That was the whole point.
Well, yeah, because
The rinse.
we had a whole debate over this, because I wouldn't necessarily take a full shower, or I wouldn't consider it a full shower, because I would take a shower at night and I didn't want to dry my skin out terribly. So I would take probably, I would say maybe three-ish minute shower. I would sometimes use a little soap or like a little body wash if I felt necessary, but I just like woke up, like I don't know why I would need to. My sheets are clean and I took a shower the night before, so like why would I need to? But I would do it in part to wake me up and in part to get my hair wet so I could blow dry it. And I think at one point I stopped blow drying my hair, so I didn't even really have to take this shower in the morning. But it just became part of my routine and I didn't want to stop doing it. So I would take a 3-minute shower, and then I remember going into math class and talking about it, and I was like, it's not like a full shower. And I was like, it's like a rinse. And then we had a whole debate about the distinction between what a shower is and what a rinse is, and obviously there's no like technical definition about it, but it was just really funny. And then the teacher got involved and she was like, what are you guys all talking about? But it was just a really funny,
literally the look on her face.
Yeah, and it became a full class discussion of everyone in our class. It was really funny, because
I think our math teacher makes the most expressive faces, honestly.
yeah everyone else is just like, what? And then I just like look at her face. She doesn't say a word, but she's like, what is going on? Like you could tell that's what she's trying to tell us.
The same thing with the same thing happened with the singing thing too. It's like clearly she's working, but also there are times where she just like takes her hand off of her keyboard and just watches us. Like it's the most entertaining thing she could be doing.
Yeah, no, it was. There was a lot of times when she just like, she became part of it, and she was more of a spectator than anything. But it was a lot of random conversations that became interesting to her,
and
for good reason, because
Yeah, I think
they're just random as hell.
Yeah, it was always a random. But I think that the thing about that is that just calling it a rinse just became this inside joke.
Weird.
It is weird.
Like, who calls it a rinse? Like, you know what I did this morning? I rinsed.
Well, okay.
Like,
the
what?
thing is, like, I
just still don't get, like, I don't know. I guess I just don't understand the point of the rinse, but
that's what I told
Well,
you.
like, it's different. I think it's different for guys and girls because I don't know. Is your hair like very weird in the morning?
well,
you get,
not
like, huge
necessarily. And it like, well, I guess for girls, like our hair takes so long to dry that to take a
Mhm.
rinse is
That's what I was thinking.
just like you would then need to blow dry your hair.
Yeah, because whatchamacallit, see, I didn't have to do anything like that back in November, because I don't know if you guys remember, in November I cut my hair really short. Like,
Yeah.
like it was literally just to
Yeah.
like the very bottom of my face, and it wasn't any higher than that. Now it's down to my lower back, and holy crap, my hair takes at least maybe 30 minutes to blow dry
Mm-hmm.
because it's
Yeah.
so long and there's so much of it. And I think that I already have to get up 30 minutes earlier so that I can get to school on time
Yeah.
because I live 30 minutes away. But if I had to wake up another 30 minutes earlier just so that I would have enough time to blow dry my hair, couldn't do it. This is why I always
Yeah.
shower the night before. I am a night showerer. There were sometimes though, and I know this is kind of weird, and I know this is like a really weird habit of mine, but sometimes on Fridays I would do it. I just like Fridays felt better to me. Fridays were more like relieving to me. So like getting up earlier to take a shower on Fridays was like
Was okay.
refreshing.
Yeah.
Cuz I would open
A little change up in the schedule. Yeah.
yeah, cuz
Understandable.
like oh my gosh, it was the best feeling ever because this was gosh, I did this more sophomore year than junior year because of in-person school, but in the spring, I would open up the bathroom window because, spring forward time change and it would be lighter outside.
Mhm.
I'd open up the bathroom window and I'd get in the shower and I would just relax. Like I felt like I would melt because I could hear like the birds outside. When I'd get out of the shower, it would smell really nice outside because it would smell really dewy in the morning for some odd reason because it surprisingly rained a lot sophomore year in the spring. Like it rained a lot that year. For Vegas, at least.
Yeah. Comparatively.
But it's just like little change up in the schedule that just felt refreshing.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, Lily, I don't know what the purpose of it was. I think at first it was so I could get my hair wet enough so I could blow dry it because I didn't want to just like I didn't want to spray like a ton of like like one of those spray bottles on my head just to get it like wet enough. So I thought that was more efficient. And then I think it just became part of my like schedule, and I felt like it would be weird if I didn't do it. Like I get a lot of dissonance when I don't do stuff that I normally do. And it's just like I felt like I needed to do it, and also I felt like I guess it kind of helped me wake up a little bit. Or that could have been my rationalization of why I should keep doing it, but I just continued to do it even after I didn't feel like I needed to blow dry my hair. It just became part of something I did. And
Can
I don't know.
I ask one more question before we should think about closing this out?
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think I've asked you guys this before, but I don't think I got a specific answer. What started the singing thing? Was it sound day for physics, or was it the fact that you guys couldn't figure out how to harmonize with each other? Like, what started that?
It was an ongoing. Like,
Wasn't it
I
the
think we were doing
harmonized
in the
thing?
car before.
But it was also
It
it
was
was
the harmonized
also
thing.
on sound day, which was ironic.
Yeah, this is a good coincidence.
Because
though.
Lily wasn't there because she was doing this thing for our physics class.
I was doing my sound day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was the day before Fahim or it was like a couple days before. But one day we were hanging out after school and we were literally like sitting in the car, like in the shade, and just like listening to music and just like singing, trying to like, because we're not like typically singers, but we were trying to get our vocals to like harmonize together. And I don't know.
It's because harmony is just so cool. We're like, we want to be in on this. Like, what's
We
up?
wanted a piece of it,
Well,
so then in math class we brought it in.
I was so confused. I was so utterly confused because I went to the restroom, right? And I'm just like, I walk back into class, and Fahim beckons me over to their little table of, like, little pod of desks, and he's like, Karina, do you know how to harmonize? And I'm pretty sure I just gave you, like, this blank stare that I was just like, yes? But I was, because I don't recall telling anybody in that class or anybody that I used to do musical theater, you know?
Yeah, we were shook.
Karina probably thought I was the weirdest person ever. She's just like, how does he know?
I was really confused. Initially, I was just, like, throwing songs at you two, just like, I think this would be in your register. Try harmonizing to this. Have you ever heard this one before?
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, also, you have to sing the song the same way in order to harmonize. Or if you're both in key, you can give it a little variety. When I started giving examples, though, that was really embarrassing.
Why?
I don't know, because everybody in the class, including our teacher, started to look at me.
But it was good.
We're shocked.
No, it was not.
I mean, I think it was good. I mean, I guess I'm not the most musically technical, but I thought your singing was on point.
I think you go to choir with that.
What do you say for him?
What?
I think you go to choir with that.
Nah, I'm not a choir kid. I don't. There is the one song. This is gonna be very emo teen of me. But the one song that I can sing the beginning of with near perfect accuracy is "Bring Me to Life" by Evanescence, which is the one song that's like "Wake Me Up Inside," like that one.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, when you said it at first, I had no clue. But it's like,
because...
"Wake me up
yeah,
inside."
That one.
Can't wake up. Wake me up.
Save me.
I told you, it's very, very, very emo teen of me. But, like, that is the one song that I can sing the beginning to with perfect, like, accuracy, in my opinion.
That's so funny. You unlocked a memory.
I was like...
I forgot about that song.
I was like, what
He was emo?
Yeah.
You know how to be emo
Yeah,
to know about that song.
No, but it's like, it's
I'm
very,
messing
it is very,
you.
like,
Yeah.
like...
Emo-esque.
Emo-esque.
I feel like a lot of people made vines with that
A
song.
lot of people made vines with that. So I think that with that, those are some of probably our favorite group and individual memories from high school. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us go down memory lane, take a little nostalgia trip for episode 8. If you want to hear more, there are 7 other episodes that can be found on our YouTube channel or our Spotify and also on our website. Which the link will be in the link tree on all of those sites. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at The Intersectional Podcast and Twitter at IntersecPod. Thank you so much for listening.